Hi, Year 7 Humanities students, and welcome back to a new term of humanities. Last term, we were completing a history unit looking at ancient Egypt. This term, we're going to finish that unit by preparing for an assessment this week and completing the assessment next week. After that, we'll be doing a new unit called Our Place in the World, where we will consider both pre- and post-colonial Aboriginal history, as well as thinking about what the Australian identity is. But looking at the work for this week, it's all about reflecting on the work that you finished the term on last term. So first of all, we've got the self-assessment, and then you've also got a separate document on Google Classroom, which is to do with peer feedback. So let's have a look first at the self-assessment document. So part one is to do with self-assessment. So there are 3 tasks to this part. Task 1 is revisit your work. So you're going to go to Google Classroom and read over your introduction and body paragraph practice task from week 9 of last term. So you'll go to term 3, week 9, and find your work and read over it. Next, you're going to mark yourself using the rubric. So go through each of the skills listed in each of the columns of the rubric and highlight all of the skills you displayed in your introduction and your body paragraph. The first section of the rubric is to do with the introduction, and the second section is to do with the body paragraph. The next task is giving yourself feedback. So give yourself some written feedback by identifying 1 strength, 1 weakness, and 1 thing you can do to improve. So you'll look at the rubric and say, 1 thing I did well was, and identify where is the top level on the rubric, a skill that you have done really well in your practice task. 1 thing I didn't do so well was, again, look at the rubric and see which skill did you not do all that well. Next time I will, and that's about giving yourself some practical feedback on what you can do to improve for the actual assessment. So that's part 1. Part 2 is using feedback to improve. So first of all, you're going to access your work. So copy and paste your introduction and body paragraph practice task into the space below. So you'll go back to Google Classroom, click on your work, copy and paste your introduction and body paragraph into this space here. Task 2 is edit your work. So considering your self-assessment and feedback from part 1, edit the parts of your work in the space above that you identified as needing improvement. And then task 3 is to do with peer assessment. So you're going to copy the edited work from this space here. Open the peer assessment task on Google Classroom, which is a separate document, and paste your edited introduction and body paragraph into the space provided. So let's have a look now at the peer assessment task. So it looks something like this. Now you will be paired up with someone, and it doesn't matter whether you put your work here or here, if you're student A or student B, but you're going to paste your edited work from here into this space here. Once you've done that, the reason that it's color-coded like this is because if you paste your work here, you are then student A, and then you go to where you see the green background. So once you've done that, you will read over student B's work, and you're going to mark student B's work against the rubric, just like you did for your own work in the self-assessment task. The rubric is exactly the same here as it was up here. Once you've marked it against the rubric, you're going to provide student B with some verbal feedback by identifying, again, 1 strength, 1 weakness, and 1 thing they can do to improve. So there are a few steps to this. First of all, you're going to go to this link, which is vockaroo.com. Then you're going to click the record button, which is there. Record your verbal feedback. Click the stop button. Click save and share. And then you'll copy that link and insert the link in the space below. So yeah, record your verbal feedback, listen back to your feedback. When you're happy with it, click save and share, then copy the link and paste it in the space below. And then you'll go and listen to your partner's feedback about your work. And that is all the work for this first week back of humanities. Next week, you're going to complete the actual assessment, which is essentially the same as the task that we did at the end of last term. It's just using the feedback that you've provided this week to improve for the actual assessment next week. So thanks, guys. I will see you soon.